Of the audience?
Alan Saylor, to the Wild Rose candidate. The now infamous no committee is an issue that you often mention. But I don't recall you referencing the fact that it is an all-party committee. In the Edmonton Journal, member Paul Hinman emphatically stated that he would not give back the money he has been paid because, in his opinion, he has been underpaid by as much as $100,000 for his committee work. Can you tell me if Mr. Hinman and any other participating Wild Rose members have paid back the money that they were paid for sitting on the committee?
Sure, and I thank you for that question. Of course, he's referring to a committee that didn't meet for 40 months. All the opposition parties have paid back their committee, and I thank you for the opportunity to express the series of events that took hold. Premier Redford first said, no, you don't have to pay it back. It's up to the MLAs. Then the MLAs were going to pay back 6 months of 40 months. Then, apparently they're going to pay back money after the election. And I think all of you have to ask the question, do we really trust them to pay it back after the election? Or should they pay it back right now, just like all the opposition parties have? What I would say about that is that if I went to, say that I went to you and I was looking for a job, and I said that I took $1,000 a month to sit on a committee that never met, would you hire me? I think the answer is no, and it should be paid back immediately. All the opposition parties have, and I expect that, and we should demand that the PCMLAs pay back the money. Thank you.
Well, the PC MLAs, just as other MLAs, have committed to paying things back. But let me just give you a little bit of opportunity, insight into exactly what takes place. $3,500 is a base that MLAs get paid. And in that base, they sit on committees to a maximum of 4 committees that they get paid for. So if somebody sits on 2 committees, they would get paid for $2,000. But the maximum is $3,500. That's the base. There's many MLAs on both sides of the House that are sitting on 8, 9 committees. And all they do receive is the $3,500. So it's, is it wrong to sit on a committee that doesn't sit? Or get paid for a committee that doesn't sit? Of course it is. But our Premier before said we need to look at it. 2 months after she was the Premier, she asked the Supreme Court Judge Major to look at how MLAs should get paid. And so the rest of it has been politics. But there is no doubt we have to find a solution on how MLAs should get paid. And please understand, it's all MLAs. It's not one party or another party. And it is, the concern is probably, I think, about 12 or so MLAs from all parties. Maybe it's 16. I can't remember exact number. But what happens is it doesn't exclude anything in regard to having an investigation, and that's what our Premier is asked to do.
Okay, John Novak.
So I've been speaking a lot about voting with your conscience. I'll say it again. If you vote with your conscience, our government will reflect our conscience. Dr. Sherman, first one to pull out his checkbook, with interest. He has a conscience. You don't take something that's not yours. You don't steal from people. These are basic things that we teach our children when they're young, and we hope that it flourishes as they're older. I'm sure there's probably a few people here have taken the odd thing or stolen the odd thing. I know I have, but I promise I won't if you elect me. That's really the answer that we're getting here tonight from some of these candidates, and you know, it's got to stop. No question, it's got to stop. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
Yeah, I I'd like to set the record straight a little bit. Rachel Nolly has not paid back the money, and I'll explain why. There's been a lot of confusion out there. First of all, let me say that MLAs shouldn't set their own pay. That's number one. Second of all, let me say that Brian Mason was the only one 10 years ago who voted against these lucrative severance packages for MLAs. Let's not forget that as well. So MLA's pay works. You don't get paid for the committee you're on. You get paid for up to 3 committees, and then if you get paid, sit on any more committees, you don't get any more money. So when Rachel was first elected, she was on that committee. When she was first elected, she said, all right, I want this committee, and this committee, and this committee, and that was 3. And then she said, and I'm interested in that, and that, and that, and that. Yeah, okay, and I'm not going to get paid for any of that extra work, but I want to do it because I want to be a good MLA and I want to work hard. So she had picked 6 committees. She was only going to get paid for 3 of them. All those 6 do a lot of work. Then Brian Mason said, well, there's also this other committee that's actually the judge and jury committee. Because the only way an MLA can be disciplined is if other MLAs discipline them. So if other MLAs discipline them, it happens in this committee. Every Westminster Parliament has a committee like this. So Brian said, you got to sit on that committee, otherwise, if they ever send me there, we got to have some representation. And he said, but you won't have to do any work, but don't worry, you don't get paid for it anyways. So she sat on that committee, and Rachel tried twice to send something to that committee, and the government voted it down. So Rachel hasn't paid it back, but she's also one of the lowest paid and hardest working MLAs in the province, and we're trying our best here. There's tons of stuff wrong with this government, but we are doing our best, and just want to set the record straight.
Okay. Any other questions to try to get to?